Welcome to the show, Nicky Fisher. You are a professional singer and entertainer with over 20 years' experience, captivating audiences across the UK and Europe. Known for your vibrant personality, glamorous stage presence, and exceptional vocal versatility, you perform genres such as soul and Motown to rock, country, and pop classics. You're a member of the Musicians Union and Equity and collaborate with live musicians whenever the opportunity arises for you. You regularly perform in two specialized theme shows, Whitney Houston tribute show and a nostalgic Era of Heroes show honoring World War veterans from the 1940s. Nikki, thank you so much for joining us. Please do tell us more.
Thank you, Tom. Well, so nice to be here. Thank you, Skyler. So yes, there's a little bit about me and what I do. Absolutely love performing. Always have done ever since I was a child. It just lit me up every time I heard music and realised I could sing. I thought I'm going to really just continue with this. I have had quite an adversity in my childhood. My mum was very poorly for over 25 years. She fought an illness, a mental illness, which caused a lot of difficulty. But music for me was a sanctuary. It was, do you know what? It's so healing, isn't it? Singing for me physically, it was an escape, and then I realized that I could make other people happy. So it was helping me, but I could also see the benefit of entertaining. And we grew up with our dad, like lots of films and comedy, and we just found a way. My dad always said you either laugh or cry about things, so we just kind of found ways to cope. And it wasn't easy, but I think it just makes you stronger, doesn't it? No pain is wasted, as they say. I want to try and, I have this innate ability to want to pay it forward as such. And I have a real empathy for people. And I just love to be around people in generally. I just find that music is so powerful in the way that it can bring people together. I've often felt a little bit of an outsider personally. I've just never found like where I fit in a weird sense. But I find with music, I'm kind of more at home when I'm on stage and when I'm with lots of people. But it's kind of strange because I'm actually quite introverted as a person. But where I've been performing for years, I've just developed a lot of confidence. It's taken a lot of work. As I say, it's been many, many years. But you know what? It just keeps me young and it keeps that child alive, that inner child, which I think we could all do with that, right? I think as we grow older, life can become stressful, bills to pay, and we forget about our dreams and goals, or we park them, or we think, oh, it's just not possible. Yeah. And I'm in health and fitness as well, and I can sort of see where, I love to encourage people, whatever their goals are, whether it be health or related or, music. I just see that there's a common denominator that people struggle with, like self-belief, self-confidence, self-worth. And so I've released a single recently, which I didn't write personally, but the guys I worked with on that single, they chose that because they knew my background. They knew what I'm about. I made it very clear about the kind of music. I'm a fitness instructor as well the last couple of years. And that's the kind of music that I love to just get people moving to, right? It's you can't help but want to just move your body. So yeah, so that's the kind of angle that I want to go with music. I've always wanted to do more original stuff, as at the moment, it's predominantly covers and, paying tribute and homage to artists. But I've always wanted to be Nicky. I've always wanted to be myself, but I've always struggled at where would I kind of put all that energy, because I've got such a diverse love of music that I've always just thought, well, the industry kind of wants to pigeonhole you, well, what are you? Are you a soul singer? Are you a rock and roll? I'm quite defiant in that sense that I don't like to be told what to do. Me and my sisters are the same. I think because I don't play an instrument as well, singing is my main instrument. It's kind of, maybe it's a story, in my head that, oh, I can't write music. I've often written lyrics and my dad always used to write poetry. So I think I've got it in me. But yeah, I've never sort of been able to really focus on that project as much as I'd love to. Life's busy. Again, it sounds like a story, but I chose to have a family. I've got a husband and we've got a beautiful family, 2 young children, and I'm really busy, like spinning plates. So if I had more time, I really would love to just sit down and like be in the studio and working with collaborators, working with other musicians and being around that great energy, because as I mentioned, like now and again, I get to work with musicians and Depp in a band occasionally, and my background is with live bands. I like being around like-minded people, right? It's contagious, good energy. You become the product of your environment. It's so powerful, and that's what I love about music, is that it has the power to change the mood of a room. You could walk in a room and you can feel it's like, you know, there's an energy there, or there's like a weird atmosphere. But I love it, a challenge, and I love to go into a room and just completely change that kind of energy and just get people feeling present, you know, because that's the great thing. Music saved me, and I really do believe music saved my life. I really do. I can say that wholeheartedly, you know, and even down to the point of, you could be having a bad day, call it autopilot. You just go out there, go to work, right? You have to just tell yourself you're doing this regardless of what's happened. It's such a clever way to get your mind into the present moment. And I think this consciously, you know, that's what I like. It sort of wakes you up, you know, your consciousness. And I'm a very conscientious person, which, you know, is about really observing your surroundings. People have said that to me, which, you know, it's great to get feedback, isn't it, from your audiences. And they like the way that I do watch, you know, I'm not just up there, it's all about me, you know, I'm actually... I'm reading the room. I know what they want. You know, it's kind of weird. It's like you have to kind of really just be self-aware, which I you know, that's one of my qualities I believe that I have, is that I'm a very empathetic person. I like to relate to people, and, you know, which can have its pros and cons, right?
You know what's wonderful about performing is that, like you said, you know, if you think about it, these people work all day or they go to school or something like that. They're going out so that the atmosphere will change their mind about that day. You know, and when they get out and you performing, you're changing their day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it could be a song that did that. You know, and they remember you from that. You know, like, wow, man, you know, she sang my favorite song, and you know, it takes you away for a minute. I had a dear friend of mine. I used to have a radio show with a friend of mine, and she was a school teacher in the daytime, right? And I got these kids, Skyler, and they screaming at each other and talking all day long and stuff like that. And I can't wait to get home just to play some music to take me away from her day. And that's what music does. It's emotion, right? And you can change anything with that, you know. And you could talk about things that can change the world, educate us, you know what I mean? Which is a really cool thing, and help us with our feelings, right? And a place for us to express ourselves. So we have to have music. It's emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's a wonderful thing to go out and perform in front of music lovers. Tom?
Very much so. You mentioned, or I mentioned, the collaborations with live musicians that you've done in the past. On that note, I wonder if you might dare to dream, as it were. Just let us know any particular collaborations you perhaps would love to people you'd love to collaborate with, or somebody you perhaps, you know, you're proud to have collaborated with over the years.
So last year I collaborated with a gentleman called Colin Hare, who was actually the original member of Honeybus and the Honeycombs back in the 50s.
Oh, wow.
So you know what, we made an album, and it's under a name, Honey Train, as opposed to me, for various reasons. But you know what, it was just such a pleasure to work with him. He's a very interesting man. He's very spiritual. And he was, you know, really mentoring me. And it had been years since I'd really been in the studio, because I'm used to live performance. And as you know, it's completely different. So we were recording at his home, and it was very intimate. You know, it was just really lovely. And he was coming out with these songs, just pulling them out of the bag. I mean, and we were so synchronized, which was so great to know that, you know, that kind of energy field, you know, even when I wasn't with him. There was one day I saw a couple of doves in the road. And then that day he said, oh, I've written a song. And he said, there was a line in it about doves. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So we were so in alignment. It was unbelievable. So and it was, some of those songs was very socially conscious as well, about sensitive subjects. One of them was, you know, about child abuse, you know, but done in a very sort of light, hearted way, but the message is there, right? It's not always about the messenger, is it?
Yeah.
As much as it's great to put, get the amazing vocal on there, the lyrics, for me, it's always about the lyrics. I choose songs specifically because I love the song, and the words do mean a lot. It's just interesting how some songs you can just pick up, and other ones it's like just struggle to go in, or but yeah, it's I really like the meaning of and the positive message as well. But obviously not all songs are going to be positive. I know there's obviously there's lots of love songs, and there's a lot of songs about heartbreak which are very popular because a lot of people can relate to that, right? So it can be, it's universal, isn't it? And but yeah, I'm into education. I love to help people. I want to empower people. That's what I do, right? That's my main thing. Is when I was on my single of the week at the moment, on a couple of radio stations, and when they sort of described it, they said, well, Nicky's gone from self-doubt to self-defiant, and I just love that. And I thought, well, it's true, right? I've got the t-shirt. I'm not saying I'm the finished article, right? But I want to be able to help people, bring people, transformation, to people to really become like their best self, and pursue what they want to achieve, whatever avenue that might be. But yeah, music definitely is just such a powerful vehicle to be able to do that. And
If you could write about something that's really, really positive, what would that be?
Do you know what? I mean, I resonate generally with songs that are more upbeat, because I just like to create, again, not to sort of diverse, but with the fitness, because I've learned a lot of physiology. When you move your body, motion creates emotion, right? So I want to keep people moving, because I know how much it changes your state. You could be, even today, I was like, I have to work out because I've got to change my state, right? So I did that, and it was completely different. So I think it's just important to just get people moving first and foremost. I mean, I'm all for a power ballad, and I really like positive messages in songs. I really do. I'm not one to I've never been much of a sort of a ballad singer until I've started doing the Whitney show with, of course, there's so many ballads which are unbelievable. I mean, they're complete. I mean, she's just, there's only one Whitney, right, at the end of the day. But again, it's about the message, and just helping people. Like, I believe we're light workers when we're in music and entertainment. Light workers, literally, we're bringing light. We're helping to diminish the dark, because there's a lot of darkness out there, and it is a scary time. And you have to be very aware of what you're feeding your mind. As much as what we talk about our bodies and what we feed our body, what are you listening to? Who are you hanging around with? You become the average of the 5 people around you. So it's serious. I've been in sort of environments where I've ended up just joining in, as you do, and it really has such a negative impact. So just be wary. So I would say, messages is about linking the music with movement, with health and happiness and love, because I believe love is, it is universal, regardless of your background, your bank balance, what I'm saying, whatever what you believe in, what religion, or what I'm saying, what gender you are, what race. It's this, what I love about what I get to do from my career with my singing and gigging is meeting so many people and going to so many places, and just seeing unity, seeing everybody just having a great time, and it feels pure and it feels peaceful. And that's what I always feel. I get this message that I just want to just have peace. I think back, especially with the sorts of shows that I do with the 1940s things, those kind of songs, even going back to the 40s, those songs, what they helped, I believe those songs helped them win that war, because they were it was such a camaraderie there. It was so patriotic and so empowering that they believed it. They were all marching to the same beat. They were just selfless people, but the entertainers were just as warriors. They were going out there entertaining the troops. Vera Lynn, Andrew Sisters, they were right in the thick of it. And yes, it was rose tinted with the music because it's very nostalgic. You don't see the real picture there, but they had that, and thank God they had that, right? When all that was going on outside, they had the dance halls. They could shut the door and let their hair down and have the time of their lives for just a few hours. And they'll never forget that. You know what I mean? That's sacrifice. But at least, you know, thank God they had that.
You need to write a dance song.
Yes.
And yeah, a dance about like getting your body moving, right?
Yeah.
And something uplifting, right? Because
Yes.
I can see you going there, but you need to write the lyrics.
Yeah.
You got feelings yourself. You know that's what I'm saying. Singing was the first instrument.
Yeah.
So you know, for years I did cover music. You know, but you're never going to go anywhere. You can make a living, but you're not going to go to the next level unless you start writing the lyrics yourself. And people, you got feelings. People would love to hear what's coming out of you with beautiful notes and a performance, right? So you can write something about, you know, hey, let's get going. You know what I mean? Because you're a fitness teacher too, right?
Yeah. I see it. Yeah. I really, honestly, that's you've really helped me just by inviting me to this platform. It's like the pennies dropped. I'm like, all along, it's like I didn't know it was sort of social conscious music. Do you know what I'm saying? You've given it as this kind of title, but it's almost like, oh wow, yeah, you're right. It is. That's what I want to do, you know, and it's kind of the missing piece of the puzzle. So since you've kind of invited me to do this, I've made a decision. I'm going to do it. I really am. It's not about, I've never been one for, you know, fame and fortune. It doesn't drive me. It's really not about that for me. You know, I just want to be something from my heart and keeping people, you know, dancing, having a great time with a positive message, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Why, and tell people why it feels good to do that, to get out and dance and exercise. And, you know, we use music to heal, educate, and solve problems, right? Because life ain't all bad.
No.
And you can do a dance. You can do a dance to, come on, guys. It's that, come on. It's like inviting people to do something that's fun, right? And we need more of that music. There's 1,000 love songs. There's millions of love songs. There's 5 billion love songs, right? What hasn't been said about love? That's how you become an artist, you know? It's writing your own feelings. And God gave you this beautiful gift of singing, which everybody can't do. And you put melody to what you're doing, and then you say something that's going to be so positive, because that's the kind of music we need more than ever right now.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm only trying, you know.
Oh,
Tom?
no, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, based on that, obviously you've got your latest single, "Shape My Confidence," which was co-written with Grammy-winning songwriter and producer Rob Davis. There's obviously a ton of music you've also got. Where can people find that music that you have there? Have you got like a website where everything is, or are you on YouTube at all?
Yes, I do have a YouTube channel, Nicky Fisher, Nicky, Nicky Fisher. I'm on Instagram, Nicky Fisher Entertainment, and Facebook page, again, Nicky Fisher. So yeah, you can hear my single on there. Again, it's been amazing to work with the guys. They've been lots of fun. It was so nice to get in the studio, and everything sort of leads, it's sort of stepping stones, isn't it? And like I say, because I'd had that experience the year before working with Colin, and that was very retro, which I love, because again, that's kind of in my DNA, right? All those years at the adult parks years ago, and the live bands and all the Glenn Miller. It was just such a special time of my life and very memorable. So I'll always love that, but I do genuinely want to like tap into that kind of upbeat fitness side, that message of, yes, let's get moving, and let's, you know, the happy, the positive. And I think that would just be the right angle, and hence why it went into, you know, working with Rob, because I originally met Mauro, and told him what I'm about, and he said, yeah, you know, let's try and do this. So I'm really pleased that it worked out with that kind of modern dance sound, because I've never heard my voice like that. I mean, obviously it sounds very modern, and I've got the effects on there. So it's nice because it's, it sounds a bit more current, and but yeah, it's just different, isn't it? When I worked with Colin, it was like analog, so it was very old school sounding, which you can't beat. It's nice. It had that really like rich kind of Carpenter's feel, and different aspects of soul and country and a bit of Irish and blues. So it kind of had a little bit of everything. But yeah, I do feel myself, I just like, while I'm sort of in this stage of my life and feeling good, feeling at my best. I mean, I feel better now, I'll be honest. I'm 41, but like I feel better than what I did in my mid-20s, because I had a few bad habits. And do you know what I'm saying? So it's never too late. No. You know what I mean? You can transform, you can be who you want to be. It's not, I think sometimes the music industry can make you feel like it's an age thing, or you're not this, like, like it said on Skyler's website, that it's a one size fits all, and that can stump people before they've even started, which maybe I did fall trapped to that one. But I'm not giving up. I'm not even got started yet, right? Watch this space.
I'm going to put the links to those things in the description of the video here, so people can go off and check out your socials and all your music.
Lovely, thank you so much.
Thank you for the privilege of your time today, and I'm glad I said something that inspired you. Right on.
Definitely.
Sending love to you. Namaste.
Sending love to you too. Thank you so much, Skyler. Thank you, Tom. Namaste.
Pleasure.
Okay.
If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.